What was meant to be a quiet, routine Wednesday afternoon session in the National Assembly turned into one of the most explosive moments in South African parliamentary history. The date, 18th November 2025. The place, Cape Town, inside the hallowed Chamber of Parliament. The man at the center of the storm, General Bheki Mkhwanazi, a retired 3-star SANDF officer turned independent MP, known for his no-nonsense demeanor and growing criticism of the ruling party. For weeks, the air had been thick with tension. The African National Congress, ANC, was bleeding from 1,000 cuts. Factional battles between the Ramaphosa loyalists and the R8 Radical Economic Transformation camp, fresh corruption allegations tied to State Capture 2.0, and a string of damning Judicial Commission reports that refused to fade from the headlines. Yet nobody, not even the most seasoned parliamentary journalists, saw this coming. As the Speaker called for order and members settled into the afternoon's order paper, General Mkhwanazi rose slowly from his seat on the back benches. In his right hand, he held a thick brown A4 envelope sealed with red wax and marked in bold black letters. Confidential. Evidence dossier. Microphone on. He didn't wait for recognition. Honorable Speaker, his voice boomed across the chamber. South Africa has been lied to for far too long. This government, this presidency, has been captured by corruption at the very highest level. I am tabling here and now irrefutable evidence of criminal conduct by the sitting head of state. Gasps rippled through the benches. He raised the envelope high above his head like a trophy. I move in terms of Section 89 of the Constitution and Rule 143 of this House, that this Parliament immediately authorizes the issuance of a warrant for the arrest of President Cyril Ramaphosa. The chamber detonated. ANC members shot to their feet, some roaring in outrage, others laughing in disbelief. Opposition MPs from the DA, EFF, and smaller parties erupted in thunderous approval, banging desks and chanting, "Arrest him! Arrest him!" Within seconds, the aisles were clogged with MPs screaming across the floor. One senior ANC deputy minister tried to storm the podium and had to be physically restrained by Parliamentary Protection Services. The Speaker, Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula, hammered her gavel so hard it cracked, pleading for order that simply wasn't coming. When a fragile silence finally fell, Mkhwanazi continued, voice ice cold. What I have here are bank statements, signed affidavits, encrypted WhatsApp messages, and classified intelligence reports. They show over R580 million in state infrastructure funds diverted through a web of companies linked directly to the president's closest associates. Suspicious transfers of $27 million to accounts in Dubai and Mauritius in the weeks following the awarding of certain COVID-19 emergency tenders. Secret meetings in 2023 and 2024 between the president's son, Andile Ramaphosa, and individuals already indicted in the state capture inquiry. The deliberate concealment of these transactions from the Public Protector, the Auditor General, and Parliament's own Standing Committee on Public Accounts. This is not speculation. This is evidence. He slammed the envelope down on the dispatch box with a thud that echoed through the stunned chamber. Opposition leader John Steenhuisen was on his feet instantly. Point of order, Madam Speaker. The nation has waited years for this moment. Let the truth be tabled. From the ANC benches came an equally ferocious response. Chief Whip Phemi Mejodina shouted, "This is a circus, a cheap staged coup orchestrated by disgruntled elements who lost at Nasrec." Another senior ANC MP accused Mkhwanazi of treason. claiming the documents were fabricated by foreign intelligence agencies determined to destabilize South Africa. But Mkhwanazi stood unmoved, staring straight at the presidential bench, empty because the president was in Durban for an investment conference. "You can shout," he said quietly into the microphone. "You can threaten. You can suspend me. But these documents will not disappear. The truth does not need bodyguards." Then he did something no one expected. He tore open the envelope, pulled out a single page, and began reading account numbers, dates, and rand amounts aloud. Every figure landed like a grenade. The speaker had no choice. She suspended the sitting for 2 hours. By the time the red live lights went off, clips were already exploding across social media. Arrest Ramaphosa trended within 8 minutes. Twitter X recorded its highest ever concurrent South African traffic. WhatsApp groups from Soweto to Sandton, Pretoria townhouses to rural Eastern Cape villages were on fire. The presidency responded swiftly. At 17:42, spokesperson Vincent Magwenya issued a statement. "The allegations made in Parliament today are baseless, reckless, and defamatory. The president will not be distracted by politically motivated smear campaigns orchestrated by individuals with clear agendas. All proper legal processes will be followed to deal with this malicious conduct." But the statement felt thin against the images of chaos that were looping on every news channel. Political analysts called it the most serious threat to Cyril Ramaphosa's presidency since the Fala Fala scandal. Some went further. This could be the beginning of the end. Within the ANC, panic set in. Emergency caucus meetings stretched late into the night. Factional WhatsApp groups lit up with accusations of betrayal. Names of possible leakers were whispered. Loyalists demanded Mkhwanazi be charged with contempt of Parliament. Others, quietly, asked to see the documents themselves. On the streets, reactions were raw and divided. In townships, long frustrated by load shedding, tenders that never materialized, and jobs that never came, people gathered around TVs and phones saying, "At last, someone had the guts." In suburban braais and wine farms, others shook their heads. "This is just another dirty opposition trick. They'll do anything to get into power." One thing everyone agreed on: South Africa will never be the same after today. The brown envelope now sits under lock and key in the office of the Speaker. A special parliamentary committee has been hastily formed to assess the veracity of the claims. The Hawks have confirmed they are aware of the documents. The public protector says her office will investigate as a matter of urgency. General Beki Mkhwanazi left Parliament under heavy security escort. As he walked down the steps to his waiting car, a journalist shouted, "General, do you fear for your life?" He paused, looked straight into the cameras, and said, "I fear more for my country if men stay silent." South Africa is holding its breath. This story is still developing by the hour. New leaks, new statements, and new twists are coming in fast. Stay locked here. We'll bring you every verified update as it breaks. And if you want to make sure you never miss a development in what may be the biggest political crisis of the 6th Parliament, hit that subscribe button, smash the bell, and share this with every South African who needs to see it. Because whatever side you're on, one thing is undeniable. Today, everything changed.